This was me not too long ago. And this is me now. Do you remember your old self? You know, the self that you had before you got into this entire self-improvement thing and you started doing gymnastics on Tate's cock and slobbering over Hamza's toes. I actually wrote that down. Yeah, that version of you. You know, a lot of us have moved past that point in our lives, but have we really? There's a difference between distance and displacement. So they're essentially the same thing, right? So imagine you're traveling in a circle and you're starting at point A. And you've gone in the shape of a circle, you've walked around it. And you've walked the entire perimeter, the circumference of that circle. And you've gone back to point A. That's distance, right? You've walked a distance, so there's progress. But your displacement is 0, because you've ended back at the same place. So, have you really progressed? While we may all think that we've gotten better, whether it be physically or mentally, we truly haven't moved forward. And I'll admit this too, you know, ever since self-improvement started becoming such a big thing, I thought I was making all this progress, I thought I was becoming better. Oh, I was doing my meditation, I was doing my journaling, like I'm making progress guys, I'm going to be successful. But since self-improvement really started, there hasn't really been much of a difference to who I am and what I'm doing. Just, you know, we've just gotten a lot of people with cuter hair and better habits. That should have been your step 0. That should have been where you started. Since we've established that we just made it to the starting line, what do we do now to win the race? So there's 3 things that you can do. Don't take my word for it. Take it with a pinch of salt, as you should with everyone else on the internet. Because this is the stuff that's worked for me. And even though I haven't really got like years and years of knowledge and experience into this, I have some sort of idea how it works. I've listened to enough people so that you don't have to listen to them, and I can like compact it down for you. So there's 3 things, and you've probably heard of some of them before, but we're going to do them properly this time and in a way which gives us an advantage. The first thing that you have to do is to not be yourself. And I know this is confusing, right? Because I've been going over this entire thing about trying to find authenticity, trying to find what it means to speak what I think and to speak what I really mean. Well, why am I saying don't be yourself? Well, think about it like this. Ever since before self-improvement, we had these certain reinforcements about who we are put on top of us. So it may have been like, for example, for me, before self-improvement, I didn't have that great of a relationship with my family, and it would always be insults upon insults on me. So it's like, you're dumb, you're not smart, you can't do this, you can't do that, or like, there's a lot of other like really horrible stuff that I don't want to, that I'm not really going to talk about right now. But essentially, you have these expectations put on you by people. And we don't like changing. Humans don't like change at all. So you know when Instagram changed their UI, everyone had a go at it, but we eventually regulated to it. But in that present moment, that shock as it changed, everyone had a go about it. So if you try to change yourself, everyone will have a go at you, and humans are built to conform. So we'll just conform back to the expectations that everyone had of us. So whether it be expectations such as you're not smart, you're not extroverted, you're not hardworking, and you're not a good person to talk to, all these kind of things, and you can't be a businessman, you can't be an athlete, all these kind of things that are put on you because everyone has a certain perception of you. So this person has a perception of you, your parents have a perception of you, your brother has a perception of you, everyone around you may have different perceptions of you, but then it comes down to an average of who you are. And that average of you is how you live your day-to-day life. So every day you'll go around being that person who everyone thinks you are, instead of being the person who you think you are. And when you do that, you'll probably know this, is that there'll be like someone's itching you in your fucking brain anytime that you want to become you. Because you know that's not you, but that's what everyone's told you is you. There's always going to be that guy coughing in the other room in your head saying like, bro, that's not you. Like, you don't fucking mean that. That's not true. So how do you regulate yourself to figure out who you are? Then you have to cut off all society expectations of you and figure out who you are. And that means molding your own character. Mold yourself into who you want to be. And whether that be taking traits of other people or taking traits of this person's like this person's like this. Doesn't mean to copy one person, it means to take traits from everyone else and create you. And that means change. And when change happens, you're gonna get clashback. And when you get that clashback, how are you gonna deal with that? You deal with that by continuing to be that person who you want to be. And then eventually everything will regulate out. And then when you find a flaw in yourself, you do the same process again. That's what I mean to not be you. Because the person who you think is you isn't you. It's not what you think. It's not what you want to do. Because the desires inside of you are way different than who you are. And the way you can tell this, right? Anger doesn't lie. So when you've been angry and you've presented what you thought about something, you've really said out, and you've really spoken you, that's your thoughts. That's what you think. Anger can't lie. And you've seen that misdirection, you've seen that separation, the difference between you and your angry self. It's now up to you to figure out who you want to be and be like that kind of person, because you can mold that. You have the ability to mold that. And for anyone who doesn't enjoy the fact that everyone else is giving them these societal expectations, it's solely because you're giving them power over who you are. So we've gone into self-improvement, right? And it's like, oh, I am this kind of person who meditates in this and this and this. But then you haven't become the person to become successful. You've just become the person who does, these monk activities like everyone else is doing, by the way. Like, you're not special for doing these things. But then you're like everyone else. There's no level of originality. There's no level of creativity or trying to be different or authenticity even in itself. Create a version of you that you want to be. Create your own superhero and be that kind of person. Do the things to become that kind of person. And whatever successes that kind of person has, you will then get those successes. Which is why you're not supposed to be yourself. The second thing is that the work doesn't care. It doesn't matter what you feel on a certain day, or like you wake up and I don't feel like doing this, or you even go half off task when you're trying to do something. I'm going to be honest, like I couldn't even focus on half the shit I was saying, because as authentic as I can get right now, as real as I can get, these floors are really thin. I can hear my dad shouting about something downstairs, so it kind of threw me off. So sorry about that. I'll try to get back into a flow. Second thing I said was that the work doesn't care. So if you set yourself a goal and you set yourself a task, whether it be, I need to do this certain writing for my business, or I need to get this website working for my business, or I need to build this poster for my business, or I need to start doing, online marketing, right? Whatever it be, or even the stuff when it comes to school, right? You may be in school right now where it's like, I need to get this piece of homework done, or I need to start revising for this test. Whatever it may be, you need to just do the work. And I know you've heard this. I know it's like I'm just sticking stuff that you already know back into your head. But it's the idea that it doesn't matter to the work about how you feel, or how you take a certain, whatever pathway you take down to do the work. The work doesn't care. It just needs to get done. The basic is that the work needs to get done. So whether you procrastinate about 2 hours before you start doing it, whether you feel tired while you're doing it, either way, the work needs to get done. With honesty to you, I've been waking up the past few days later than I usually would. So I had a long period of time where I was waking up at 3 AM every day just to get some work done. And it was feeling pretty good. I was pretty happy to do that. But then, as soon as I got off school and gone to study leave, I have one more exam left and I'm done with sixth form and I'm going to uni in September. Ever since that happened, I haven't been waking up on time. I haven't been waking up at 3 AM. I've been waking up at 6 instead. I haven't been happy with myself, and the work that I want to get done hasn't been getting done. It's not like the workload's going to get less. The work doesn't care. So that's why I've been trying to regulate myself, figure out my times, make a timetable and get all my stuff done and sort it all out. The idea is that the work will never change. The work will always need to get done, whether it be that you're feeling sad, whether it be you're feeling tired. Just get it done. Stay on task. And it's hard to stay on task, Yesterday, I tried one thing where I literally just powered off my phone, airplane mode, whatever, chucked in the random drawer in the other room and started doing my work. And as much as it was getting boring and pretty draining, I could tell I was putting effort in. And I know when I try it again today, when I try to do the work today, I was looking at it, literally caught a glimpse of it. I was kind of excited to do it. It's almost like progressive overload, where it's like, I did that work yesterday, I did that bicycle, and now when I go to do it next, I'm excited to hit a PR. It's the same with work, where it's like if I do something, and I actually work hard on it, and I stay on task for as long as I say I'm going to work for it, when I come to it next, when I do it next time, I'm glad, because I can hit a PR, I can do better on it. The work doesn't care. Get the work done. The idea is to move forward. The idea isn't to mental masturbate, watch self-improvement videos to give you a little bit of motivation to work. The idea is to move forward and to constantly move forward and do better. Simplicity. Do the work. This last thing I actually got from someone called Sam Ovens. You've probably heard of him. Brilliant YouTuber. Not YouTuber, sorry. Entrepreneur. Brilliant. Consulting.com owner. Amazing. He has a lot of really good ideas on just like your mentality and the way that you should work on business. And the one thing that he was talking about was focus. And he talks about, he has a circle, right? He'll draw a circle and he'll have lines going out that circle. And this is essentially your focus. He'll have 9 lines going out. And this is people who are focused on more than one thing. You have this goal, you have this goal, you have this goal. You have this business, you have this business, you have this business, you have this subject, this subject, this subject. All your focus is going out into different areas. And this could be in life as well. Relationships, family, business, friends. I said relationship. But essentially, you get what I mean. If you have a lot of things to focus on, you won't be able to direct everything towards one thing. Whereas if you took all those, you say for example, all those arrows were an inch long. That's exactly what we talked about. All those arrows were an inch long. Well, if you took all those arrows and put it into one area, then you would have a big focus arrow of 9 inches. 9 inches is massive. But you'd have that long arrow of just focus towards one thing. Now, who do you think is going to progress more? The person who has that one long arrow of focus towards one thing than the person who has focus on 9 things? Probably the person who has the focus on that long arrow of one thing. You don't want to ruin your energy levels, your mental bandwidth from focusing on too many things at once. Because if you focus on too many things, have too many things running, to say thinking, oh, multiple sources of income, you won't ever progress on the thing that you really want to progress. The idea is to do less, not to do more. This is exactly what Sam Ovens talks about, and he preaches this so much. It's like you want to cut things out, you want to eliminate things from your life, so that you don't have to focus much on things. So what he did, he would get a chef, he would get a personal trainer who lived in that house, and people to wash the dishes and whatsoever. So he didn't have to think about what he had to eat. He didn't have to think about training. He didn't have to think about all these other important things which would take up his bandwidth and wouldn't be able to focus on his business. So he eliminated those things. So someone else had to think about them and not him. So then he had focus towards his business more. That doesn't mean for me to tell you like go get a chef, go get all these things. But it's for you to think about what are the things that are taking up your focus that aren't that meaningful and that aren't really going to help towards your goals. The idea is to eliminate them so you have less things to think about and more bandwidth and focus to push towards the thing that you actually care about. So sit down and figure out what are the things that are taking up your time, that are taking up your focus, that you don't really want to spend that much focus on. I know what you're thinking. It may be like social media, it may be porn, it may be, you're hanging out with your friends too much. You're in the wrong environment. Figure out what it is and eliminate it. And it's difficult to make that decision, but it's up to you to make that decision, because remember what I said in the first point. You mold who you are. You have genuine power over what happens in the future. Based on the mistakes that you made in the past, based on the person you are now, you can mold your future into what you want it to be. And as much as this may be like a motivational talk, and it's like, but you don't have experience, why should I listen to... Bro, I'm just trying to tell you the kind of basics around it, okay? Because I know self-improvement's become this massive thing, and I don't want this to be part of the self-improvement thing, because self-improvement itself is mental masturbation. So this isn't the point for you to be watching this and not do anything. I want you to take this video and do something. I want people to do something. I don't want you to sit around and constantly watch these videos. This is like a mirror talk to myself. Do something. Hopefully those 3 tips were of value to you, and it's something that you can apply into your own life and actually push yourself forward instead of being in this loop of constant self-improvement advice. And then you can avoid making the mistake that I made. And don't get trapped into this self-improvement market of YouTubers who are way bigger than me at this point, so they have much more influence. But hopefully if you catch this video before that, don't get caught into that. For anyone new, my name is Vanch, and I upload videos with some sort of value, some things to actually help you, improve your life. Like, valuable shit that I think can be helpful to me, because I want to just repeat the information to myself and learn more, and to you, if this is valuable to you, and to apply to your own life. Yeah. So click on subscribe and the post notifications if you enjoy this kind of stuff. If not, don't worry about it. Thank you for listening to me, man. Go get that shit, put this into your life, you know, put that value in, and actually improve your life. Go get it. Love.